Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a super fun video because today I will be sharing all of my fall sewing and knitting plans. I have 6 sewing plans and 6 knitting plans, which is quite a lot I think and quite ambitious of me. Also keeping in mind the fact that I make my own knitwear designs, so I have a lot of those plans besides the 6 plans that I have here today. So I may not get to all of them, but I wanted to share with you nonetheless. Before we start off this video, I do have to quickly mention that I currently have a test knit call for the sweater that I'm wearing. And this is my latest design. It's a circular colorwork yoke with 2-stranded colorwork mostly, and then there are a few rows with 3-stranded colorwork. It's called the Holly Harvest sweater. I absolutely love it. And it also has some colorwork on the sleeves, which I really like, and some increases to create a bishop sleeve. So it is a little bit puffy on the end, which I really like. Then it also of course has short row shaping, a really cute like picot edge on the neck. I can show you that a bit clearly. Here you can see a little bit of waist shaping, a split hem, just a lot of fun details in here that I think make it a little bit more elevated from the usual colorwork circular yoke sweaters that you see very often. The test week period is 9 weeks. It's knit on 4mm needles and it's knit with a DK weight yarn. And I really love it, and I would love to have you as a test knitter. I'm still mostly looking for larger sizes, but of course everyone is still welcome to apply, and you can find the link to apply in my bio. And without further ado, let's get into the things that I'm planning to knit for fall. So the first plan that I have is a really nice pattern. It's from Wool & Beyond and it's called the My Dream Cardigan. This is knit on 4mm needles with a light fingering and a lace weight yarn held together. I'm actually going to do a very different yarn combination than what is used here in the pattern. I'm going to be using some type of yarn that I'm going to receive tomorrow, so sadly I cannot show you. But it's basically a huge ball of yarn that creates a leopard print when you're knitting it. It's from Long Yarns and it's called Concept or something like that, but I will put it on the screen. And I thought it was absolutely amazing when I came across it. They also have a mohair version of it. So the mohair version is 71% mohair. And then the one that I ordered, which is a little bit cheaper, is 71% merino wool. So I'm really excited to see how that will be. And I think this specific cardigan, since it's so minimalistic, I think it will absolutely shine with the like the leopard yarn. I think that will be really fun and a little bit like Cayden inspired. I will put some inspo pictures on the screen. There was also a cardigan from Petite Knit that I quite like, but I don't love supporting Petite Knit like I always say. I mean, there are so many small independent designers that I think have really amazing patterns, just like Wool & Beyond. I mean, she's still quite a well-known pattern designer, I think, but she makes beautiful patterns. And I also really like this one because it's a sticked cardigan. Just the thought of knitting it around just really appeals to me right now for some reason. I think it's a nice break from the textures knits that I usually design for my own brand. And then I also love just the general construction of it, and that is a little bit more form-fitting, and I think it will be a lot of fun. And I've also never sticked anything in my life before, so I think that's going to be a really fun challenge. Then the next pattern that I would love to knit is called, I think, the Fouette Cardigan by Fouette. This is a cabled cardigan that also has some lace in there. It also has a really beautiful construction where there is a cable on the shoulder that really transitions into the sleeve, which I just love. Little design details like that. It really shows that the designer, you know, has a good eye for it, I think. And I really like that. It's knit with a light fingering weight yarn held together with a lace weight yarn to create a DK weight on 4.5mm needles. Comes in 10 sizes, which I think is really amazing. And it wouldn't be fall or winter, I feel like, without some type of cable thing going on. And I don't necessarily love cabling because I do think it's very fiddly, having to stop, and it takes so much time. Like, I much rather knit colorwork or lace or baubles, but still, I love the look of cables and I would love to have a cabled cardigan like this. I would probably make it in a cream color like the picture that is on the screen right now, which is from one of her test knitters. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous just in one solid color. It really makes the pattern shine and it's beautiful. And I think a very nice basic that is still has a little bit going on. Like, for me it's a basic, if that makes sense. And then I have another pattern. This is the only sweater pattern that I'm planning to knit. That is not my own design. It's the Azul by Eweknit Toronto in collaboration with Laine. So they have published a knitting book. It's actually releasing tomorrow and it's called Memory Lane. And Memory Lane mostly focuses on making knitwear really special by crocheting details, embroidery, knitting with beads, which is really fun. It's just a beautiful book. I have not seen it like in real life yet, but I know it's going to be amazing because I've seen lots of pictures and also all of the design previews are out right now. So the Azul is a full colorwork sweater. And I should be receiving a knitting kit for it, but I have not received it yet. So I hope to receive it soon, because I will for sure be knitting this. It's knit on 4mm needles. There are 9 sizes, and it's a fingering weight yarn held together with a lace weight yarn to create a sport weight yarn. And one thing that I also really love about this design is that it has a raglan construction, but then the raglan construction is like a detail to the colorwork. So it has like a blue line running down like this, and I think that's a really beautiful design detail. Then the other 3 knitting patterns that I have planned are all accessories. So the first one is the Berlin scarf by Paula Strickt. This is a super simple scarf, but it's oh so cozy. Like just the picture is exactly what I would buy like ready to wear in store. So I feel like it's a really good basic pattern to knit. Maybe not the most exciting knitting project ever, but sometimes you need something basic. So I've actually cast this one on already, and so far it has been good. I've only knit like a teeny tiny bit. It's knit on 7mm needles, which feels a little bit strange after really only knitting on like 4 or 5mm needles, or maybe even 3 for a very long time. I think I started out knitting with 10 and 7mm needles, those bigger types of sizes. So it has been fun to knit something on a larger needle again. And it's basically just stockinette in the round for a very long time. And then having some fringes on the end. And this is also one of the few projects that I already have the yarn for. So this is the Katja Komorebi yarn. You may have recognized this from a knitting podcast, maybe, I don't know, a while ago. I was making a cardigan with this yarn, but I still have not finished that cardigan. And I don't think it's ever going to be finished because in my heart I feel and I know that it's a little bit too big. So it's probably not a good idea if I finish it, and I know in my heart that it needs to be frogged. So I have started the scarf, and I think that will also make the frogging process a little bit easier on myself. But it's just a beautiful boucle type of yarn and I really like it. It's 50% wool, 25% cotton, 15% polyamide and 10% mohair. And then every ball has around 100 meters. Originally I bought I think 6 balls, so I have 600 meters, which should be enough for the scarf, hopefully. I could make it maybe shorter, but we'll see. Maybe I'll have to get another one. Then next up we have the Augustins number 30 by Augustins Knitwear. This one I have definitely shown here before, and it has just been moving in my knitting plans, so I still have not cast this one on. But I still love this scarf, and I think it will just be so cozy to wrap around in the end. Very beautiful. I like that it's mostly garter stitch, but then it has a lace border, which I think will be a lot of fun to knit. It's knit on 5mm needles and it comes in one size only. And I do already have the yarn for it. I'm just not sure again if I have enough. I don't know why I have this tendency to try and save money and not buy a lot of yarn. So I only have 2 of these and each ball is 190 meters. And it says for the pattern, I believe, you definitely need more. Oh, that's very stupid of me. In the pattern they use like 600 meters of yarn. So why in the world did I only get 2 of them? That's kind of crazy, I don't know. But the yarn that I'm talking about is Long Yarns Malulai, which just looks like this. 72% alpaca, 16% polyamide and 12% wool, and it's really nice. So yeah, I'm really excited to get started on this pattern. I just don't know when it's going to happen. And right now I have the other scarf on my needles, so probably after finishing that one I will start knitting this. But maybe this will be more of a winter project. I kind of see fall and winter like combined for some reason, because it kind of feels all the same in the Netherlands, to be honest. And then the final knitting pattern that I have is actually a free pattern. I'm kind of craving just a super simple mitten pattern, and I've never knitted gloves or mittens or anything along those lines before. So I think that will also be really fun to see how it works and the construction, etc. I'm also planning right now a hat design, and I would love to make some matching mittens for that. But I think it's probably best if I knit someone else's design first before starting to kind of figure it out by myself. So I found a free pattern by Sostrene Grene, which is an amazing brand. They have just the cutest home accessories, but they also sell yarn and a lot of cute crafty supplies or like stationery, just everything that you would want. It's like the type of store that you go into and you always buy something because it's too cute. So this free pattern is knit on 5mm needles and it doesn't require a lot of yarn. It comes also in 4 sizes, and I really like that it has a little bit of moss stitch in there. I think that's just a really cute detail. I also saw Drops, of course, has a lot of free patterns, but this for some reason is just doing it for me. So I think I want to knit it, and I'm gonna go stash dive and see if I have any yarns that maybe I can hold together to create the Aran weight that it requires, and just have a lot of fun playing around with it. So those were all of the knitting patterns that I would love to make for this fall, and then I have also 6 sewing patterns. So the first one is actually a design that is not yet released, but I just wanted to share it since I know it will be released probably in like 2 weeks or something. And I'm actually in the testing group for it, which is really exciting. So this is again a pattern by Cayden Naughton. I'm just such a big lover of all of her designs, and she's such an incredible pattern designer, very size inclusive. I love her personality, I just love everything about this woman. So she currently has a new design, it's called the Daily Dress. It's very inspired by not Sewn, but Christy Dawn, I feel like. So actually I couldn't find a picture of Cayden Naughton, her dress. So instead here I have a picture of Christy Dawn dress, which I think looks very similar because they both have a square neckline, really nice short poofy sleeves, some princess seams in the front, and then the daily dress comes with 2 views, and then one is a pleated view and then the other one is a gathered skirt view. Like always, I'm pretty sure I will be making both of those views, and I do already have the fabric for one of them. So I have around 3 meters of this beautiful cotton in this burgundy fabric with a nice floral print, which I think is very cute, and I think this will be a really good dress for fall. And for example, with the scarf that I'm going to be knitting, like this would look really cute. And then I also have some trimming options, and I'm not sure if I will end up using them, but I have, for example, this little lacy border that would look cute, or I can use some velvet for the lace-up detail in the back. I'm pretty sure that the Christy Dawn dress has a zipper in the back, but then the daily dress, like I said, it has the lace-up in the back, which I think is much nicer because it will be more adjustable. And I don't love wearing zippers, it always feels a little bit restricting, and I feel like during the day I need to loosen up my clothing to be able to have room for my stomach and stuff with food. So I'm really excited to test this for her, and I think it will be released by the end of September, so definitely keep a watch out and follow her on Instagram if you don't want to miss out on anything. Then another pattern that I absolutely adore, which was recently released, is the Perennial Blouse by Sewn with Grit. This is such a cute and vintage inspired blouse. It is a little bit summery, but I feel like it could transition very well still into the fall and winter season with like chunky knitwear and nice trousers and boots. I think it would look really cute. I really love the little gathered detail that it has before the waistband. It also has some sleeve options, so you could do it without a sleeve, a cap sleeve or a ruffle. And I've seen just a lot of cute versions from mostly like sewing Instagram accounts with, for example, gingham and plaid fabrics, and I think gingham and plaid and just like a fall floral. I just love those types of prints in the fall, and I think it would be really adorable in this blouse. It is a little bit more also of an expensive pattern, but maybe that's just me, and I know I'm a cheapskate. I always say this, but yeah. But I also know I would make multiple versions of this, so it's probably worth it. And of course, like I always mention, I know how much work goes into creating a pattern, so it's no shame or like trying to tear the designer down for putting a high price tag on a pattern. It's just my personal price opinion, I think. And then the next pattern that I have planned is going to be a Quilted Fest, which is super fun. And I'm actually planning to use my own sewing pattern, which is the Hazel Gilet. I published this pattern somewhere last year, but I've not really done a lot of advertising about it probably. Yeah, I really have not advertised it as much as I probably should have. But yeah, it is a pattern that I have, and it's a reversible gilet. Mostly there are views with thicker fabrics like a teddy fabric, but I feel like the shape in general is super basic, and I'm pretty sure you can also make it with other fabrics. Or like I am sure, because I have made multiple of this in my career when I used to have a ready-to-wear fashion brand. So I will be making it with a leopard print viscose fabric that I'm going to add fusible batting to. So it's going to stiffen the viscose so it's not like drapey like this. And then I'm going to quilt it with lots of quilting lines. Then the other side of the fabric is going to be this beautiful sandwashed cotton in this like caramelly brown color. I think they will pair really nicely together, and I think I want the side of this one to have like pockets with ruffles, and then I'm going to add ties to the front, and I think it's going to be adorable. It's something that is very like versatile because I can wear it both ways, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. Then the next sewing pattern is something that I've been craving in my closet for a very long time. So it's more basic, but it's something that is really like a necessity right now. So I do have quite a few pair of jeans. I actually recently just got some more pair of jeans like with fun prints and stuff from Vinted, so they were all secondhand. I don't really buy new clothing anymore, but I'm really craving something that is a little bit more comfortable than wearing jeans. So I don't want any zippers or buttons or yeah, basically just elastic pants, but then I don't want them to look like actual elasticated pants. So I'm looking for a pattern that is normal on the front but then has elastic in the back. And I found this pattern by Style Arc. That's probably like the closest thing to what I'm looking for right now. So it's super wide leg, then it has some slanted front pockets, which I really like. And like I said, the elastic in the back. And I think it looks really cute. They do have some pictures with a model wearing them, and I do think they look really nice. The only thing is that they use like a navy blue fabric, so it's very hard to see all of the pattern details. They probably should have used like a lighter fabric, because you really have to zoom in to be able to actually properly see the pattern. But this is just such a nice basic pant, I feel like, and it's very wearable, and I think it just looks a little bit more classy than having like elasticated pants. At least I'm hoping. And I think this would look really nice in, for example, a denim fabric, which I do have here. For example, a denim fabric like this, but also like a lighter, or not a lighter, like a heavier linen fabric would look really good in this. And I'm also even thinking maybe like a lightweight wool, because I get cold really quickly. So I think some wool trousers would serve me really well in the winter. And yeah, I'm excited to start making those probably a little bit later in the year. And then the next pattern that I have is one that I also talked about recently. It's again by Cayden Naughton, and it's the Saturday skirt. I was also a tester for this design, and it's absolutely an adorable skirt. And I feel like it's such a good transitional piece for fall, winter, summer, spring, like any season, and you can wear this skirt. It does have a zipper with a button. So I think for this time around, I'm going to size up a couple of sizes. Basically, I'm looking for a size that has the waist circumference that is the same as my hip circumference. I'm going to make that and then add elastic in it. And I've seen another tester do this, and I really like how that looked. She actually made that in denim and then added like a pocket in the front with lace, and it just looked adorable. So I think that's my plan, and it will make it a little bit more comfortable and probably also a little bit more wearable. Just for me personally, like I say, I really need to have some kind of thing that is comfort when it's around my stomach and stuff. And then the final sewing pattern that I have planned is also a free pattern, because it's a tutorial by Sid Graham. She actually just posted this, and it's a really cute tutorial for a tote bag. And she did it with some strawberry patchwork on top, and it just looks adorable. I feel like this would be such a good bag for me to bring to work. I'm always carrying my lunch bag in my hand and my water bottle, or like using grocery store bags, because I don't really have a lot of tote bags, or any for that matter. And I would really love to make one that has just a lot of pockets and it's very multifunctional, but still looks really cute. And I feel like this tutorial is going to be great for that. She also makes sewing patterns which are really nice, although I've only, I think, tried one of them, but I don't remember which one. Oh yeah, the Skyline dress. Which, yeah, I think her patterns are really nice and really beautiful. And I really appreciate that she also makes tutorials like this for us to follow. And it's just super nice. So I wanted to share that with you, because I know you will all love that as well, I think. So yeah, I think those were already all of the patterns that I want to share for this video. I know there weren't that many, but for me it felt like a lot. So I want to also keep it realistic. You know, I don't need to have 30 plans or something, because that's never going to happen. Like I said, also besides the other plans that I do, or sometimes something else comes in between, like a nice test knit call or test sewist call. And yeah, I'm super excited actually for fall and winter season. It's definitely my prime time, although I don't love having to go out in the rain when I have to work and stuff like that. I think that's my least favorite thing. But other than that, I love everything about this time of year. So I'm super excited for everything to start getting a little bit cooler and to start cozying down. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I wish you all a very happy day, happy knitting, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!